1969 to 1973 Ford Mustang Grande. Chances are you've never heard of the Mustang Grande. That's because very few people put the words Mustang and luxury together in the same sentence, especially at the end of the 1960s. When the Grande first appeared on the scene, the idea behind it was simple enough. Add enough comfort features to the compact coupe to bolster the illusion that it offered a truly upscale experience, and then try to charge a premium for it. Although it was only a modest success at the time, never selling more than 25,000 examples in a period when the Mustang was printing money left and right, its wood appliques, vinyl roof, and vinyl seats with patterned cloth inserts helped set the Grande apart from common additions to the car. Throw in distinctive exterior trim, a more conservative version of the sleek two-door body shape, and the availability of big block power, and you get a Mustang that won't blend in with the endless rows of same high-performance models at the next meetup. Different often equals collectible, and there are no flaws in the Grande's game to keep it from being enjoyed just as much as any other Mustang of its time. (1979) Ford Mustang Indy 500 Pace Car. Indy 500 pace cars are a common sight on the collectible car circuit, with models as diverse as the Pontiac Trans Am, the GMC 10, the Chevrolet Corvette, and even the Ford F-100 and F-50, all tackling commemorative duty over the years. What makes the 1979 Ford Mustang Indy 500 pace car worthy of collectible attention? For starters, it's the first production year for the Fox body Mustang, which ended up as the longest-running generation of the car. It also marked an important rebirth for the model after having languished for years on the uninspiring Pinto platform during the bulk of the 1970s. Ford built four-cylinder and V8 editions of the Indy 500 pace car model, and while they were sadly within 10 horsepower of each other due to emissions restrictions, the V8 model delivers considerably more torque and is better to drive. About 10,000 of these were built, so locating one shouldn't be much of an issue. 1982 to 1993 Ford Mustang SSP. The Ford Mustang Special Service Package, or SSP, was the fancy descriptor used at ordering time by police departments that were serious about cracking down on speeders. Stemming from a California Highway Patrol request for an interceptor that could hang with perverts at triple-digit speeds, the SSP took a base model Mustang coupe, beefed up its cooling and electrical systems, and installed a fully calibrated speedometer for documenting leadfoots on the run. All SSP cars come with a 5-liter V8 as standard equipment with varying power output depending on the model year, and you could get either a manual or an automatic gearbox topping out at 225 horsepower in later years. There were 15,000 SSPs produced over its decade or so of existence, but many of these were ridden hard and put away wet, which means quality examples are starting to appreciate due to their scarcity. 1984 to 1986 Ford Mustang SVO. Would you be surprised to find out that in the mid-1980s, the best Mustang in the showroom had half the cylinder count of the illustrious 5-liter V8? The Special Vehicle Operations version of the Ford Coupe featured a 2.3-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that was good for 175 horsepower at first, and 205 horsepower starting in mid-1985, which was enough to match the V8 GT beyond its eye-popping for a 4-banger dyno sheet. However, the Mustang SVO was also considerably lighter than the GT edition, which made it just as quick as its sibling in a straight line and better through the curves thanks to the use of Coney shocks and an upgraded set of anti-roll bars. Steering bushings and tires were further enhanced versus the GT, and it's no stretch to call the Mustang SVO the most potent pony of its model year. Overlooked at the time by a public that had a hard time associating the Mustang with a high-tech turbo drivetrain, the SVO continues to offer serious bang for the buck for collectors. 1984 Ford Mustang GT 350 This model is almost unknown outside of hardcore fans, but it was intended as part of a 20th anniversary celebration of the Mustang that failed to catch fire. Most of the GT 350 cars were forgettable and couldn't match the performance image inherent in their classic namesake. Only 7% of the almost 5,300 GT 350 Mustangs built featured the turbocharged four-cylinder engine. It still offered up 145 horsepower and 180 pound-feet of torque, and it's one of the few hard-to-find Fox bodies that has yet to catch the eye of collectors. If you can nab a convertible, Ford only built 119. 1990 Ford Mustang 7-Up convertible. The 7-Up Mustang, as the car came to be called, was a green convertible with a white top, and it featured a standard 5-liter V8. These cars were eagerly gobbled up by buyers who appreciated the unique color scheme and the respectable level of equipment provided by the LX trim level. Over time, the carbonated Mustang has become a minor celebrity in the Fox body world, and it's one of the more interesting collectible convertibles. 1994 to 1995, Ford Mustang Cobra. The Cobra name was revived at the beginning of the 1990s as the Fox body faded into history. But what casual Mustang fans might not be aware of is that much of that car's high-performance gear found its way under the skin of the SN95 generation Mustang that replaced it. Why does this matter? The original series of SN95 Mustangs were derided at the time for the modest output of their 4.6-liter overhead cam engine designs, and that stigma has kept that market for them cool. The 1994 to 1995 Ford Mustang Cobra, however, features a 240 horsepower 5-liter pushrod V8 to go with the more modern car's better brakes, suspension, and overall platform. It's the best of both worlds, and it's a well-kept secret. The 32-valve Cobras that followed largely overshadowed these fun-to-drive and relatively rare models. 1995 Ford Mustang GTS. Looking for something a little more sleeper and perhaps cheaper from the SN95 generation, the Ford Mustang GTS was a single, stripped-down version of the coupe offered to buyers who wanted to go fast without the extra weight of comfort equipment to drag them down. Mechanically, the GTS was a match for the GT of the same model year, which means a 5-liter V8, a 5-speed manual transmission, and suspension upgrades to match. However, the exterior of the car lacks the rear wing or even the fog lights in the bumper found on the GT. You could add gear if you wanted to, including power windows and door locks. But chances were the budget-conscious drag racer ordering the GTS was likely to stick with the basics. Adding to the allure is that the GTS was offered exclusively for $1995 before disappearing forever.